Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Brooke and today I'm going to do a tag video, and this video is just going to be 50 random facts about me. And don't mind my cute little fox mug over there. I just now noticed that he's in the background, so don't pay attention to him. Anyways, if you guys want to learn 50 random facts about me, just keep watching. So one of the first facts about me, that's probably one of the most important facts, is that I'm a huge animal lover. I love animals. Domestic, wildlife, all of them. I also love wildlife photography. I love photography in general, but specifically wildlife and like outdoor nature kind of photography. Love it. I used to work for the United States Department of Agriculture, specifically for the Forest Service, and I absolutely loved it. I was a forest ranger and I worked in the mountains and I just absolutely loved it. I also was a florist. I absolutely loved being a florist, working with fresh flowers every day, silk arrangements I would do, and one of my coworkers actually became one of my very close friends to this day. And yeah, so that's a little fact about me. I love art. I love to draw and I love to paint. I hope to publish my own line of children's books someday. That is a huge dream of mine. My high school art teacher always encouraged me to make children's books, so that is something that is definitely on my bucket list and goals that I want to do in my lifetime. I won a punt, pass, and kick football contest. My brother was really into football. I wasn't because I was a girl. They had a contest every year called the punt, pass, and kick, and my brother always won every year, and I went with him to watch one year. And my dad came around the corner and he said, "Okay, Brooke, let's go." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Oh, I signed you up." And I went, "What? I don't know anything about football." And he's like, "Oh, they have a girls division this year, and or not girls division. They have a girls contest this year and I signed you up." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you did not." I didn't even know anything. My dad signed me up. Apparently he had more faith in me than I did in myself. And I ended up taking first place. I have a cute little football trophy, and yeah, so that's one random fact about me. And this goes along with the contest. I actually won a Halloween contest. My friend and I actually did. Some of you are probably too young to know this, but we went dressed as Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding. Back in the day, there was a big, you can Google it, there was a feud between the two of them, and we went dressed as them. They're ice skaters, and we won closest to the real thing, and it was just hilarious. It was pretty funny. So we won that. That's one really random fact about me. One thing a lot of you probably don't know is I love to sing. I was in high school choir, church choir, and a worship band. I love to sing. Sorry, my dog is laying on my feet and she's squishing me. I am very scared of clowns. In fact, I have a story time video about that I'll link down below. I'm petrified. Ooh, look at all this hair. I am petrified. I'm petrified of clowns. And that is a true phobia. It's a real thing, so I didn't know that, but yeah. Another random fact about me, growing up, my dad always tried to encourage me to be a bodybuilder because I was always a very muscular girl growing up, and had a lot of insecurities about that because when I played volleyball we had really short shorts and I had really muscular legs, and just being a very muscular girl, I didn't like being a muscular girl. I always wanted to be really dainty and tiny and little and, you know, just petite, and that wasn't me. But anyways, my dad always wanted me to be a bodybuilder, and like I always pretended I was going to be like a WWE wrestler, so it's just a funny little dream I had growing up. I was really into sports growing up, and I would always go with my brother to his practices, his baseball practices, would play with them, and I actually was, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I was pretty much better than a lot of the boys on the team, and the boys started realizing that I could throw better than them and hit better than them, and the boys got together, and to my surprise they were starting to go to the board and ask if I could be on their team, and the board was like, "Actually, we have a better idea for her. We're going to put her in advanced fast pitch. I was only 12 at the time, and they put me in like 14-year-old fast pitch. I still like baseball more than softball. I just didn't like the idea of throwing underhand instead of overhand, and the ball was bigger. I don't know. I just felt like baseball was more of a challenge. I just enjoyed it more than softball. But yeah, my brother's baseball team got together to try to get me to be on their team, so that was funny. Speaking of my brother, I have 2 siblings. I have a younger brother, he's 17 months younger than me, and a sister who is 6 years younger than me. A lot of people think her and I are twins. Adam and Lauren are their names. One of my dreams is to lay, and this could be the florist in me, I don't know, or the Twilight fan in me, but I just have this dream of laying in a field of daisies, or like a field of flowers. Like, I just think that would be like the most perfect day, is just to lay in a field of flowers. I don't know, I just want to do it. Once ate a cricket. It was for a youth group. And I had to eat a live, fuzzy, furry cricket and kill it when it was in my mouth. And its legs were in my teeth, and I just about threw up. But I did it. I got through it. I have eaten alligator. Did not know I was eating it at the time. My uncle tricked me, thinking it was just spicy, chewy chicken, and it was not. I love mountain life. I live in the Rockies. I absolutely love the Smokies too. I just love the mountains. I'm a mountain girl. One day I really would love to own my own ranch and have my own horses. And dream and aspiration is I would love to become a foster parent or adopt a child someday. I've always wanted to do that since I was a little girl. I remember being 3 or 4 years old at my church. There was an African kids choir that came, and they were all orphans. And I remember asking my mom, I think I was like 4 or 5, asked my mom, what is an orphan? And she goes, oh, they don't have mommies and daddies. And like something in my heart just sank. Being that young, I still remember, like, why am I so lucky that I have a mommy and daddy and they don't? And ever since that night, I've always wanted to adopt a child. So I don't know, that's just something I feel very strongly about. Or even like foster care, I need to look into it more, but it's a big goal of mine and something that I really hope that I can do someday. Another thing that I would love to do, and this is more of a vain thing, but I would love, love, love to be in a scary movie. I think that would be so much fun. I think it'd be so much fun to be like, to play a villain, because I'm really, in person, everybody thinks I'm nice. And I am a nice person, and I'm not mean or anything, but it'd be fun to play a mean part because it's completely opposite of me. And I like scary movies, but what would be even cooler is actually to be a makeup artist for a scary movie and do like that makeup for that. I think that would be like on top, like the very first thing on my bucket list. Like that would be an amazing career. I just would love that, like to work on The Walking Dead and make zombies. Oh my gosh, that would be like the dream job. Speaking of scary movies, I am afraid of ice cream trucks. Yeah. Whenever I hear an ice cream truck going by my house, I instantly get scared, and it's all from that movie called Legion. If you go in YouTube bar and type in Legion ice cream truck man, you'll know exactly why I'm afraid of the ice cream man. Growing up, I really loved Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I had a huge crush on Angel, and he had his own series that I got into, Angel, and I actually got to meet him. I was working for the Forest Service, and I met him in the middle of nowhere. He was there with his family, and he looks exactly like he does on TV. He is beautiful, and nice family, very nice family. His wife is beautiful. So another weird random fact is that I won't mention the celebrity because he's pretty well known. He hit on me. I was working for a resort, and he would not leave me alone and just kept flirting and smiling and staring. And yeah, it was kind of cool that it was a celebrity, But this specific celebrity was very flattered, don't get me wrong, but I was also kind of freaked out because the celebrity, he played, it was the very, I don't want to say it was the very first movie, scary movie that I watched. It was one of like, it was a very popular movie, one of the main characters in one of those movies. I'm not going to mention which one. And that the series was like the movies, like when I was in junior high and high school, like they were really big. It was like the first scary movies that I got into. And he was in one of those, and he kind of freaked me out in one of those movies. And so when I see him in person for the first time, it kind of freaked me out too, because I was thinking, oh my gosh, like it was just funny. So that's a random fact, and a lot of people don't know about it because I just don't talk about it. But I got lost in the mall. I've gotten lost in the mall a lot of times, let's just say that. I get lost very easily when it comes to big buildings. Throw me in the wilderness, throw me in the mountains, I'm fine. Throw me in a huge hospital or mall, I get lost. I don't know why. It's just something about being inside buildings. I also, when I was 3 years old, had a robotic dog. It was really cute, white and fluffy, and it actually walked. And I figured I needed to take it for a walk. I don't know why. So I snuck out of the house with my dog and started walking down a highway that's a very busy highway. And I walked about half a mile, and some guy in a pickup truck picked me up. And I remember he had the most prettiest blue eyes, and he says, "You need to go home right now." And I don't know why I trusted him. He scooped me up, put me in his truck, and somehow, I don't know how, but maybe I pointed to the house, I'm not sure. He dropped me off at my house, and my dad opened the door and he goes, "I believe this is your daughter." And my dad was like, "What?" Because the doorbell woke up my dad, and he just started crying, and he was so angry with me for leaving. But yeah, I took my dog for a walk and almost got lost, but I got found. Kind of like my faith. Anyways, I cut my forehead. I have this giant, I'm very insecure about this. I have that big scar on my forehead. I cut that when I was just learning to walk, and my mom had me in a big snowsuit because it was winter and I was trying to walk, and apparently we got home and I came into the house and I fell on the corner of a wall. I tripped and my head went first, and the corner of the wall cut my head open, and I guess it was pretty bad. Like it went straight to the bone, and I had to have 50 stitches in my head. And 50 stitches is a lot of stitches, but it's a lot of stitches for a baby, like a toddler, so it was kind of a big deal. So that's how I have this scar. I was in a car accident. A lot of you know this, and you're probably tired of me bringing it up. It was just within the past few years. I was hit by a drunk driver. He was going over 105 miles an hour and hit me from behind. I was with 2 other people, and I was actually sitting in the back seat, and it actually broke the seat that I was sitting in and catapulted me, and it flung us into oncoming traffic. Excuse me. Flung us into oncoming traffic, and the oncoming car hit my side of the door going 65 miles an hour and flipped us up in the air, and we started rolling down a cliff and landed upside down by a frozen lake of water. So it is a miracle that I'm alive, and all 3 of us are alive to this day. And it's a miracle that I'm not paralyzed. So I was in an accident, and it was a miracle I survived. I hit an alien. Just kidding. I hit something. It looked like Big Bird. Honestly, it looked like a very tall bird, like Big Bird, but it wasn't yellow, obviously, and it wasn't that tall. It's like really tall, but not like Big Bird tall. But it looked like, that's what I thought, like it looked like Big Bird. I was driving, and out of nowhere, it was like really late in the night, like 2 in the morning, and I swear it looked like Big Bird, and but it was like brown. And I pulled over, tried to find it, couldn't find it, and it had these really big eyes. The only thing I can think of is it was like a crane or a heron, something like that, because it's kind of like the body shape, but it had the most freakiest look and eyes. And I called other people. We came out to look because I knew it wasn't a person, but you never know like what's going on. So anyways, we searched high and low all down that highway, couldn't find anything. So who knows, to this day. I definitely think it was some sort of bird. Just really weird and very random. So I used to work for a hotel, and I've worked for really nice ski resorts and other hotels. And I worked for one hotel where I witnessed several things. I witnessed an underage prostitution bust. That is going to be I'm going to make a story time video about that, because that was pretty crazy. Police catching drug deal. I also assisted the police in a raid. I helped them with a raid. The hotel that I worked for was a very nice hotel, but it was in a very bad part of town. The town was in the Midwest in Ohio, and it's got close to 1 million people just in the city limits. And so a lot of crazy things happened at that hotel. I'm so glad I don't work there anymore, but I have a lot of crazy stories that I'll probably share with you guys. So those are some things that I've witnessed. I was harassed by a NASCAR driver and his staff. That will be another story time video, because that's an interesting one that happened at that hotel. Those are a lot of reasons why I don't work at that hotel anymore. I went on a road trip with my little sister to Tennessee. Well, we were actually going to be going to North Carolina, but we got stuck in Tennessee for a whole week, and our car broke down, and that was a crazy ordeal. So that will be another story time video, but I once got stuck in Tennessee for a week because my car broke down. I am a shy person, and growing up, if I liked a boy, I would not let him know. Like, I would not talk to him. I would not look at him. I wouldn't pay him any attention. So a lot of my crushes probably thought I either hated them or didn't know they existed, which is really bad. I mean, if you like someone, you should let them know or show interest. I did the complete opposite. I acted like they weren't around, like completely scared. But so I'm a shy person, especially when it comes to crushes, and just shy in general until you get to know me. I accidentally stabbed myself with a crochet needle. It went up my ankle, and it was pretty gross. Pretty nasty. I think I have a story time video about that too. If I do, it'll be linked below. I like to crochet, and I crochet blankets and cat sweaters. I am a crazy cat lady. I used to be a medical transcriptionist, and pretty much just transcribed doctor reports. I've never been tent camping. I have camped in cabins and a camper, but I have never camped in a tent. I love campfire cooking. I think things taste so good on a campfire. I love trucks. I was bucked off a horse really bad down a mountain. I went horseback riding with my friend, zigzagged down a mountain and bucked me off, and I ended up bruising my spleen really bad. So almost lost my spleen. If I hadn't been wearing a jacket, like one of those down jackets that helped absorb the impact, the doctor said I probably would have lost my spleen. So that is a random fact. Once kayaked in the ocean. Horrible experience. Please don't ever do it. Kayaks are so tipsy and so little and so, like, you feel like you have no control, which you pretty much don't. In a kayak, they're very tiny, and I was in a kayak. I should probably do another story time video about this too, because it was not my idea, and there was tons of fish underneath me swimming, and I just had a panic attack. So not a good idea, and I don't recommend it. I was kidnapped in the Bahamas during a high school senior trip. That was interesting. I am 5'10" and a quarter, flat-footed, so with shoes I'm around between 5'10" and a half, 5'11". I'm from the Midwest originally. I've worked with the youth a lot. Growing up, I worked with the Boys and Girls Club and I was a youth leader. I love Supernatural, the TV show. I love Sam and Dean. You guys probably already know that. Christian, and you guys probably already know that too. I have 3 pets. I have 2 dogs and a cat. I have a lab named Daisy. I have an Akbash named Lola, and I have a cat named Kiki. Tia and Tamara growing up, and I wanted to be them or be their little sister, and I wanted to look just like them. And growing up, I honest to God thought I was going to marry Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell. Honestly thought I was going to marry Zach. Didn't happen. Anyways, those are 50 random facts about me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, then give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and God bless. Bye.